The marriage of floral designs with vintage elements represents the essence of cottagecore aesthetics, creating spaces that transcend mere decoration to become personal sanctuaries of timeless beauty. This design approach celebrates both the romantic charm of countryside living and the sophisticated appreciation of antique craftsmanship, resulting in interiors that tell stories through carefully curated combinations of botanical beauty and historical treasures. From pressed flower artwork to vintage-inspired textiles, each element contributes to a harmonious celebration of natural beauty and period authenticity.
Welcome to Rustic Elegance. Let's embark on a journey through the beauty of rustic decor, celebrating the warmth, simplicity, and natural charm of this timeless design.
Mastering floral designs with vintage elements in cottagecore homes. In today's modern living spaces, the integration of vintage furniture with floral elements offers a refreshing counterpoint to minimalist trends, creating environments that feel both personal and timeless. This design philosophy extends beyond simple decoration, encouraging a lifestyle that values sustainability, craftsmanship, and connection to natural beauty. Through thoughtful combination of antique pieces, fresh florals, and botanical-inspired decor, these spaces become living galleries that celebrate both historical character and natural charm. The success of cottagecore design lies in understanding how to balance various elements without overwhelming the space. Whether creating everyday table centerpieces or arranging entire living rooms, this approach requires careful consideration of scale, color, and pattern. Through mindful curation and arrangement, These spaces become personal galleries that celebrate both natural beauty and historical craftsmanship, while maintaining modern functionality and comfort. One, blending botanical prints with vintage furniture for a timeless cottagecore look. Modern vintage living room mastery. The art of creating a modern vintage living room lies in thoughtfully combining period pieces with contemporary comforts. Start with key antique furniture pieces, perhaps a Victorian settee or an Art Deco armchair, as anchor points for your design. Layer these with modern elements like sleek side tables or contemporary lighting fixtures to create a space that feels both historic and current. The key is to maintain balance. Too many antiques can make a room feel museum-like, while too few might lose the vintage charm. Furniture transformation and placement. Breathing new life into old furniture requires both vision and skill. Consider updating antique pieces with modern touches while preserving their original character. A vintage console table might be gently restored and repurposed as a sophisticated media unit, while an antique dresser could become a striking living room storage piece. When arranging furniture, create conversation areas that highlight unique pieces while maintaining comfortable traffic flow. Curating visual stories. Success in vintage-inspired design comes from understanding different antique furniture styles and their historical context. From ornate Victorian pieces to streamlined mid-century items, each style tells its own story. Create visual interest by mixing periods thoughtfully, perhaps pairing a rustic farmhouse table with refined queen and chairs, or setting delicate botanical prints against the backdrop of a robust industrial bookcase. Expert insights and resources. When sourcing antique furniture, look for pieces that combine historical significance with practical functionality. Work with reputable restoration experts who understand period-appropriate techniques and materials. For DIY makeovers, invest in quality tools and materials that will help preserve the integrity of antique pieces while updating their appearance for modern use. Consider joining local antique collecting groups or online communities to share knowledge and source authentic pieces. Two, how to style fresh flowers in antique vases for charming centerpieces. Everyday table centerpiece design. Creating stunning centerpieces for everyday use requires a balance of practicality and beauty. For dining tables, consider height and scale to ensure conversations flow easily across the table. Layer antique elements like vintage candlesticks or decorative plates with fresh floral arrangements to create depth and interest. Rotate seasonal elements throughout the year while maintaining key vintage pieces as anchors in your design. Living room table statements. Living room centerpieces offer opportunities for more dramatic arrangements. Create focal points using substantial antique vases filled with generous bouquets, or design unique centerpieces using collections of vintage items combined with natural elements. Consider the table's size and style. A delicate Victorian occasional table might showcase a simple arrangement in milk glass, while a robust coffee table could support a more elaborate display. Innovative centerpiece concepts. Think beyond traditional vase arrangements to create unique centerpiece designs. Repurpose antique items like old books, vintage trays, or retired kitchen implements as unexpected vessels or display platforms. Layer different heights and textures, perhaps combining fresh flowers with preserved botanicals, vintage figurines, or antique decorative objects to create conversation-starting tablescapes. Expert insights and resources. For professional-looking arrangements, invest in quality flower frogs and pin holders that work well with antique vessels. Source seasonal blooms from local growers to ensure freshness and support sustainable practices. Create a collection of versatile vintage containers in various sizes and styles to accommodate different arrangement types throughout the year. Learn basic flower preservation techniques to extend the life of both fresh and dried arrangements. Three, creating floral wall art using pressed flowers and rustic frames. The art of flower pressing. Mastering the technique of flower pressing requires understanding both the artistic and scientific aspects of preservation. Different flowers require varying pressing times and techniques to maintain their color and form. Creating a collection of pressed flowers throughout the growing season ensures a diverse palette for year-round creativity. Consider both traditional pressing methods using books and modern flower presses for optimal results. Composition and design principles. Successful pressed flower artwork relies on thoughtful composition that considers both negative space and color relationships. Creating depth through layering and careful placement transforms flat-pressed specimens into dynamic artworks. Understanding basic principles of botanical illustration can inform more naturalistic arrangements, while abstract approaches offer opportunities for creative expression. Frame selection and conservation. Choosing appropriate frames and mounting materials ensures the longevity of pressed flower artwork. UV protective glass and acid-free materials protect delicate specimens from deterioration. Vintage frames can be restored and adapted for conservation purposes, while maintaining their period charm. Consider the relationship between frame style and artwork when selecting or restoring pieces. Expert insights and resources. Develop relationships with local gardeners and botanical gardens for access to interesting specimens. Learn proper mounting and preservation techniques from conservation experts. Source period-appropriate frames from antique dealers and learn basic restoration techniques to maintain their character while ensuring proper protection for artwork. Four. Enhancing your cottagecore home with floral patterns on textiles and linens. Pattern mixing mastery. Creating harmonious combinations of floral patterns requires understanding scale and color theory. Mix large-scale florals with smaller complementary patterns, using solid vintage pieces as visual anchors. Consider the room's overall color palette when selecting textiles, allowing statement patterns to shine while maintaining visual cohesion. Traditional textile integration. Incorporate vintage textiles thoughtfully throughout your space, from delicate lace curtains to robust upholstery fabrics. Layer different textures and patterns to create depth and interest, while maintaining a cohesive color story. Use vintage linens as accent pieces, perhaps displaying handworked embroidery or traditional needlework as wall art. Modern applications. Balance traditional floral patterns with contemporary elements to keep spaces feeling fresh and livable. Consider updating vintage pieces with modern floral fabrics, or introducing traditional patterns through contemporary textile applications. Mix periods and styles thoughtfully to create spaces that feel collected over time, rather than decorated all at once. Expert insights and resources. Source quality vintage textiles from reputable dealers who understand proper storage and care requirements. Learn basic textile restoration techniques for maintaining delicate pieces. Consider working with professional upholsterers who specialize in vintage furniture when undertaking larger projects. Five. Arranging dried and preserved blooms for long-lasting cottagecore beauty. Preservation techniques. Master various methods of flower preservation, from air drying to silica gel techniques. Understanding how different flowers respond to preservation methods ensures better results. Create year-round displays by preserving seasonal blooms at their peak, maintaining a connection to nature throughout the year. Composition strategies. Design dried flower arrangements with the same attention to form and balance as fresh arrangements. Consider color evolution during the drying process when planning compositions. Create depth and interest through varying heights and textures, incorporating both preserved flowers and complementary natural elements. Long-term display solutions. Develop strategies for protecting and maintaining dried arrangements over time. Consider placement away from direct sunlight and humidity sources. Rotate elements seasonally to maintain fresh looks while preserving special pieces for long-term display. Expert insights and resources. Connect with experienced flower preservationists to learn advanced techniques. Source specialty supplies for optimal preservation results. Learn proper storage methods for maintaining a collection of preserved materials. Six, incorporating floral motifs into vintage upholstery and decorative accents. Pattern selection and placement. Choose floral upholstery patterns that complement your overall design scheme while honoring traditional motifs. Consider the scale of patterns in relation to furniture pieces and room size. Create focal points through strategic use of bold floral patterns, balanced with quieter design elements. Restoration considerations. Understand the challenges and opportunities of working with vintage upholstered pieces. Learn when to preserve original materials and when to update with new fabrics. Consider the historical context of furniture pieces when selecting replacement materials. Accent integration. Layer floral motifs throughout your space through thoughtfully chosen decorative elements. Incorporate vintage floral-themed accessories to complement larger furniture pieces. Create cohesive designs that flow naturally through your space. Expert insights and resources. Work with professional upholsterers who understand both historical techniques and modern materials. Source quality fabrics that complement vintage pieces while meeting modern durability requirements. Learn basic upholstery maintenance to extend the life of your pieces. Conclusion. The art of combining floral elements with vintage pieces in cottagecore homes represents a thoughtful approach to creating spaces that honor both natural beauty and historical character. Through careful selection and arrangement of elements, from fresh flowers to antique furniture, these interiors become personal sanctuaries that tell stories of both past and present. As we continue to seek alternatives to mass-produced decor, this design approach offers a sustainable and meaningful way to create unique living spaces. By thoughtfully combining vintage furniture, floral arrangements, and botanical-inspired elements, we create environments that evolve naturally while maintaining connections to traditional design principles. The success of cottagecore design lies not in strict adherence to rules, but in creating authentic, lived-in spaces that reflect personal style while honoring both natural beauty and historical craftsmanship. As this aesthetic continues to evolve, it reminds us that the most beautiful spaces are those that combine elegant design with personal meaning and natural charm.